Hi, this is Mitch and I'm from Holland Park House, and in this episode we're going to be making some gas strut windows.
So in the first step here, I'm just marking up the opening, getting my dimensions.
Yeah.
From there,
Bit of a chit chat, and getting the height down, and just cutting up the stock which will be used as the jambs. The stock I've chosen for this is a hardwood quilla or merbau stock. It's an exterior grade timber, really hard wearing, and should last a really long time. And this is the bottom plate there, the sill plate, and you can see there it's got a weather strip cut into it. So now I've just got the frame there up on the table, and I'm just screwing in the pieces all together with a bit of wood glue. Tight Bond's my favourite glue that I use, and just screwing it all together with some really strong batten screws, just because the span is so big. It's about 1.8 metres, which is about 900 mils per window. It's going to be a double bay window. So I'm just going around here, just marking all my holes to drill, just so they all look equal. And I'm just marking out here on the side jam plate the notch, because that's going to sit as the centre mullion, which is going to sit on top of the casement, the sill plate there. So this will notch the exact profile, and there it is there, just slotting in right over the top of it. Beautiful, lovely. And just screw it into the bottom sill plate there, and nice and tight, lovely. So here we are making up the windows themselves. So this is a slightly lighter but also hardwood stock. It's a Tasmanian oak from memory.
you mark it this side, and you turn it over, and mark it this side, and if they line up, then it's dead set centre of that thickness of material. Set your blade to that, that's it. This is the key to the other thing is the...
So what we're doing here is just testing out the joint that we're going to be using for our window. We're going to be cutting up a lap joint, which is a half cut of the depth, and you lay two of these pieces of timber over the top of each other, just like this, and it should line up beautifully. Bit of wood glue in there, Tight Bond,
Nice.
and that'll just seal and be a really strong joint. The trick is, when you lay the actual window into your frame, you want to have the correct orientation, so the window will swing outbound, so you want the depth of the timber on the bottom edge, so as it lifts upwards it's self-supporting. So just gluing it all together here, getting some clamps, triple checking that everything's nice and square, and just rinse and repeat the process for the second window.
Type 1 2.
And here we are, here again, just laying on some decent amount of Tight Bond, and just wipe off the excess with a damp cloth. Slightly soapy water works pretty well to remove any residue. And then by the time you come back at it with a 240 grit sandpaper, it'll just flush up beautifully and you won't even see the joints.
Square.
You do that because this one's got a lot of...
Yeah.
I'm not too worried here about actually seeing...
So you can see here, that's what the finished profile will be. So it's going to be set back a couple of mils, so I can put a bead in there and the glass will sit underneath.
So I'm just doing a test cut here with the router and the new bit that I've bought. Just triple checking the depth, and with the actual window frame all together and glued, I'm just walking around all the edges now and routing them all out. and it all routed out, so now it's down to putting the hinges in, just the same way as you do a door, just a little hinge, notch it out and screw it in. Now dropping the panel in, the glass panel, running a nice thick bead of silicone, and then putting in the quad moulding, which we nailed in as well. So that's got the weather strip on top of some silicone, so it's going to be really nice and tight and weather sealed, so there's no chance for water ingress to come through. And just laying down the glass again, nice and slow. There we go. And coming around now with a coat of, it's a special type of wood sealer, so it comes in a 2-part system. You've got a base coat and then 2 top coats, but you can go up to 5 top coats, which is what I did, and just do a really light 240 sand in between each coat. Now here I am screwing those windows onto the frame itself. Cutting up your sarking, make your opening, and now we're ready to install the window. Had to get my neighbour to give me a hand because it weighed an absolute ton. And I've just left the jambs to be done at the very end, just so I know it's really nice and tight. Unfortunately, I stuffed up just the distance a bit by about 1 millimetre, which was just too tight. So for the next one, I'm just going to give myself an extra millimetre. So to get around it, I've just tilted it just a little bit. It's a little bit annoying, but you can hardly notice it. And unless you're looking really closely, you won't see it. Still operates fine. Really nice and tight, but yeah, just a little bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. That's okay.